let's talk carpet challenges. What's up, everybody? I'm Jeremy, and you're watching Morphs. This week's video, folks, I thought it would be a great opportunity to go and talk about some of the challenges you will face and come across when you're breeding and selling carpet pythons. Now, you guys all know carpets are near and dear to my heart. These are probably like they are the coolest species that I think there are to work with, and I just absolutely love these guys. This is actually our gelatin female. Now, the camera's actually sadly browning her out. Gelatins naturally have this axanthic-like look, which you guys all know how much I love my axanthics. There is no brown on this girl at all. I will be completely honest with you, folks. This girl is very just black, white, gray. Even down here in the sides, the camera isn't picking it up, but down here it's almost like I don't want to say sky blue, but it's got like a blue tint to it. So gelatins are a very cool and interesting locality to work with. Very, very few people are working with them, actually, so that makes them even cooler. But you guys know I love my axanthic stuff, and these guys just, they fit right in with how much I love my axanthics, because it's a natural-looking axanthic-like carpet. So before we go ahead and dive on into this and cover some of the challenges you're going to face when breeding and marketing carpet pythons, do me a favor, folks, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, drop me a comment down below. What are your thoughts on this video? Do you love carpet pythons? Do you want to get into carpets? Because I think everybody needs to have one, folks. These guys are just so phenomenal to work with. But let me know in the comments down below. Did you enjoy this video? Do you want to see more carpet content? Because you guys know how much I love pumping out carpet python content. So let's go ahead and dive on into this.
Make sure you check out Nathan at Infinite Possible Pythons. He is your guy to go to if you want to get into the Bang project. On top of it, he's working a bunch of awesome ball python projects. Kahua geckos, Leachianus geckos, crested geckos, some scaleless corn snakes, and he is your one-stop shop for all your branding needs. So check him out. Check out Chris Shelley over at S Reptilia if you need a high-end ball python, blood python, locality boa, or colubrid. He's also Pennsylvania's distributor of Coco to Go and the Chipper, and he can also hook you up with some rats. So make sure you guys check out Chris over at S Reptilia.
Challenge number one that you're going to come across is the thing everybody fears the most with carpet pythons. And it sucks to say it, but it's the attitude that they have when they're babies. Now, you need to remember something, folks. When they are babies, they are small. They are at the very, very bottom of the food chain, basically. Everything is so much bigger than them that you got to have a little bit more fight to you. Now, not all babies are nippy, defensive. You know, not all babies, you know, foot that bill. And I will show you here in a little bit what I'm talking about. But that being said, you are going to come across those little ones that do, you know, they fit that mold perfectly. They'll act like little jerks, and you got to just get through it with them. Whether that's working with them, just giving them time, you know, to basically get over themselves and calm down and just realize that you're not a threat to them. You kind of get comfortable and secure. You know, like they're very insecure as babies. So once they get a little bit of that security, and that comes with size too. So as they get bigger, they should mellow out as well. But as you can see with this girl, she's about a year, maybe a little bit over a year old. I had to get her from Nick Mutton. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous animals that, you know, Nick produces. But fortunate enough to get a female from him, and she is absolutely everything I could ever ask for. Now, the one thing you're going to notice is this girl's super chill. She's been super chill since she got here, folks. I don't know how she was as a baby, but she is very much just laid back, exploring. I mean, this video is even, we're shooting this at night, so you guys know how I don't really get the carpets out at night, just because here they know that if it's nighttime, it's going to be food that's coming in. You know, nighttime is when they're going to be their most food programmed. But that being said, like I said, we're doing this at night. This girl's super chill. She isn't doing anything stupid, goofy, mean, aggressive, any of those things that carpets are known for. But as babies, folks, you're going to experience a little bit of that nippiness. Just work with them, give them that time. Work with them a couple days out of the week, like maybe 2 days out of the week. You know, give them a little bit of handling when you're going in and like cleaning the enclosures, cleaning the tubs, whatever you're housing them, the babies in. Hold them during that time that you're doing that work in that enclosure. Just get them that little bit of experience being handled, dealing with humans, that type of deal. That stuff goes a long ways. I've got a couple here that have been little jerks. I'm not going to lie. There's 2 of them. One's a holdback, one's still up for grabs. But they've been little jerks. I'm not going to lie. Every time I'm doing work in their enclosure, I'm holding them. I'm making them get used to being held and worked with. And they are slowly, one is even slower than the other, but they're slowly making progress. And it's neat to see, you know, the fruits of your labor. Carpets are one of those species that I firmly believe you get out of them what you put into them. The more work and time you give them, the more you're going to have, you know, you're going to reap the fruits of your labor, basically. So that is one thing you need to keep in mind. You know, work with them, give them that time, allow them to be, if they want to be little jerks for a little bit, that's fine. Let them do it. Just give them a little bit of time and work with them. That's all you got to do.
Head on over to Triforce Morphs if you're looking for that missing piece in your ball python breeding project. While you're there, add a little bit of lace or citron to the mix, folks. John and Christine can also hook you up with the crested gecko, so don't forget that. Turn up the heat with Triforce Morphs. If you want to use the best reptile record keeping and tracking software on the market today, scan the QR code or click our partnership link in the description down below for a free 30-day trial of Husbandry Pro. I promise you, you will not regret it.
All right, challenge number 2. You're working on conquering the angry little baby carpet that wants to take on the world. Next challenge you're going to have to face when you're trying to sell these guys as babies is that they don't look like this as babies. This girl is a 1.5-year old jungle female that we produced here in-house. This is Siggy. You know, I've kind of gone this Viking route with my carpets. I kind of enjoy it. I blame the series Vikings for that. But this is Siggy, and she was produced in-house. Very beautiful jungle female. And I will tell you this much. They do not look this absolutely drop-dead gorgeous and stunning as babies. It just, like, they just don't. They start out very drab, very earth-tony. There is no yellow at all to them as babies. Like, you would not believe that this snake was what it looked like, you know, a year ago even. Just within that first year, they start going through a big, huge color change, which is called an ontogenetic color change. So try saying that 5 times fast, or even 3 times fast. God, it's hard to say once. But they go through a massive color change, and all those earthy, drab tones that help them blend into their surroundings, eventually, you know, the color starts coming in. Now, again, this is a jungle carpet, so they get, you know, the beautiful blacks and yellow contrasting. Depending on what locality you're working with, will, you know, basically determine what the color scheme of that animal is going to be. Jungles will turn black and yellow as they go into adulthood. Other localities will get, you know, different colors, grays, like you just saw the gelatin. That's a very xanthic looking animal. You have the diamonds, which basically are just speckled looking, like absolutely gorgeous animals. You've got your coastals, like all of them have their own color scheme, their own color palette, that they work with. And like I said, you know, this is just a jungle. This is what I mainly work with. But they do not start out this vibrant. Tell you what, let me go get Ragnar, which is the other holdback that we have from this clutch. It would be her brother. And because I know I can find a picture of him as a baby really, really easy back in my phone. So let me go grab him, show him off what he looks like now, and then I'll put a picture up of what he looked like as a baby. So that way you can see, you know, you can comprehend how hard it is to sell these guys as babies. All right, so here is Ragnar. He's probably, other than his dad, which is the most famous carpet on this channel, which would be Xander, aka Xena. But this is Ragnar, and I would say he probably gets the most airtime other than his father, as, you know, just showing them off, being good examples of beautiful carpets. But you will see how beautiful And you probably understand why this guy gets a lot of airtime. I mean, he's just absolutely gorgeous. Look at that crazy pattern, all that tipping. He's just a beautiful, beautiful example of a jungle. Hi, buddy. And also you can see temperament is absolutely, like, he's just chill. He's a puppy dog. So now that being said, you see how beautiful he is here. Now let me go and flash a picture up and show you what he started off as a baby, because he did not look like this at all. The pattern was there, the color was not. So let's go ahead and check out what he looked like as a baby. So here you can see, this is what he looked like as a baby. He was not very beautiful, stunning. Like, the only thing that stood out with him was the pattern, the look of all the tipping he was going to have, and just, yeah, I kind of had to use my educated guess of my limited knowledge at the time of what to look for with holdbacks, and just the way his pattern was the big key as to why I wanted to hold him back, and I'm thankful that I did. But you can see there is definitely not a whole big color contrast thing that screams, oh my god, this is going to become the most beautiful snake in the world. These guys are very drab as babies, and to say the least, it does make them a challenge. All right, now, that being said, folks, like I said, you can see how beautiful this guy is. A lot of people will wait until these animals do start getting their yellow colors in. Now, there are some people like myself, you can look at them, you can kind of predict what they're going to do. You don't fully know, though. I will be honest with you. I've seen some animals that look like they were going to be gorgeous turn not so gorgeous. And I've seen other animals that looked like they weren't going to be that great, and they turned out to be absolutely stunning. So you just don't quite know for sure. It's kind of a roll of the dice, luck of the draw type of deal. Now, the only flaw I have with this beautiful guy is that he's a little muddy on his dorsal. Might not show up the greatest on camera. His dorsal's a little on the muddier side, but you know what? I mean, I wouldn't change it. In all honesty, I think it's a kind of a neat aspect to him. And he's getting, like, that muddiness is starting to get black, and I just like seeing that, in all honesty. Like, I don't know if it's growing on me or what, but it's just part of that color change. You don't know what you're going to get with these guys. Every carpet is going to be different, individual. There's no two carpets alike, which I think is the one thing that makes why I just like them. Not one of them looks similar, or they'll look similar, but not one looks like the same as some other species where they kind of look very copy-paste almost. Another thing you'll find with the color changes, though, is one, a lot of breeders will hold on to them a little bit longer. Now, I do, but I don't. I release them. I pick the standout ones off the bat, get the meals in them, and then I start releasing them to the public for sale. And as they start shedding and everything like that, if I start seeing one that's kind of standing out, then I might go and I might, mark that one to be held back, just for a little bit further investigation, to see, just to let it, see if anything becomes of it.
Stop wasting time trying to prove out animals or taking chances on possible heads or genes you don't know that are there. Head on over to Charlie at Gray Rider Reptiles and ShedTesting.com for all of your shed testing needs. He's fast, accurate, and adding new tests on a regular basis. So head on over to ShedTesting.com and check him out. Make sure to use the code CARPET15 for 15% off of your shed test order. Use nothing but the best at ShedTesting.com.
If I'm holding one back and it's like, you're starting to not look as good as what I thought, then I might go and release that one to the public and slide another one into its spot, Normally I do try to pick 2 holdbacks per sex, so 2 males, 2 females, let those color up, and once they do color up, just kind of base what I'm holding back off of that. Try to pick a 1.1. This year I did really bad. I kept like a 3.2. Now that is out of 2 different clutches though. 1 male from 1 clutch, and then 2 males and 2 females from the second clutch. So I did bad, but I kind of did good at the same time. But that being said, the color change aspect that these guys go through makes them so challenging sometimes. And probably it's almost the most challenging aspect of them, in all honesty. And the reason for that is because people don't quite grasp that an animal can have such a drastic color change. And this guy this is one thing I love about carpets. They're kind of just very explorer. They love to explore. They do their own thing. But that's probably like one of the hardest aspects of marketing and selling carpets is the color change aspect. Because people see that drab snake off the start, or they catch it in the middle and it doesn't look the greatest, which I'll go pull one out here in a second and show you like that middle ground. But they just don't quite grasp that that animal will get better looking. It will come into its adult colors and it will become basically the swan. These guys are kind of like the ugly ducklings. The worst they will look is when they're babies. And as they get older, they just get better and better and better. So let's go ahead and check out one that's in the middle of its color change. That way you guys can kind of get a middle ground here and see what I'm talking about from, the ugly duckling first start type of deal. Year and a half. Let's go ahead and we'll check that middle ground so that way you guys can see what that one in the middle of that color change looks like. All right, so here we have one of our female holdbacks. And as you can see, I mean, she is not that drastic yellow look yet. She is, she's starting to color up. She's going to be an absolutely gorgeous looking adult. I have no doubt. But you can see she does not have those beautiful yellows yet. They will come in, but, she's in the middle of that transition, folks. So, I mean, she's got a little bit of time yet. She's only probably, I think she hatched in like June. So she's only about, halfway through her color change phase. Because I give them about that year and a half time frame to color up. And she's about only halfway through it. So as you can see, I mean, she's looking awesome. Absolutely phenomenal. Now, we're still working with her with the handling thing. She's not bad, but, I wouldn't be letting her up around my face yet. But she is doing pretty darn good. She's not the worst one that I've dealt with, put it that way, but she's just going to be absolutely stunning. This girl's from the Celeste and Xander clutch, so absolutely some powerhouse genetics as far as just absolutely looker, stunner, type of deal. So she should be just out of this world when she is done coloring up. But again, about 6 months into that color change, gives you guys that good reference as to, what to expect, what they start looking like. And again, like, this is when people start probably pulling, normally releasing them because they can start seeing what's going on with the colors. So this is also when most people will actually start buying them a little bit more frequently, I feel, just because the customer themselves can see what's going on, what the animal's going to end up looking like as an adult. But absolutely gorgeous. I love this girl. We still need to name her yet. I think I know what I'm going to do, but I'm still thinking. But this girl is definitely going to be staying here no matter what. She's just gorgeous. If you can't tell me, she's got that crazy looking pattern going on. Like, she's just nuts. She loves that camera too. But gonna be a gorgeous, gorgeous female.
Are you ready to take it to the next level? Then check out DTMG Pythons. Danny is best known for his awesome clown ball python projects. This year's focus is Confusion, Hurricane, and Disco Inferno clowns. He also specializes in high-end crested gecko morphs such as Exantic, Lily White, and Exantic Lily Whites, along with the Deadpool line of gargoyle geckos. Check out his morph market and Instagram, DTMG Pythons. Just buy it.
So the next challenge you're going to come across when you're trying to sell and market these animals is the size that they get. A lot of people have this thought that these snakes get huge, going to need a big, huge enclosure. That's not so. Your average size, I'm going to say jungle, I'm going to refer to everything with the jungle carpets because that's what I mainly work with. Your average jungle is going to like your 5-6 foot range would be where I put the average jungle at. You are going to have those few that go 6, maybe 7 feet long. Xander, the male, the sire to all those babies that you got to see today so far, he is in fact a huge jungle male. He's right about 7 foot long. So he is a big boy. That being said though, on average, what you need to expect for enclosure wise, bare minimum 4x2x2, which is what you see behind me. Up there you can see Hercules. He's up there. Actually, he's up in there with Celeste. So they haven't done anything yet. I'm kind of let down about that. But anyway, 4x2x2 is what I keep my carpets in. It gives them that they have room to climb. They've got room to stretch out. It gives them that nice temperature gradient for their hot spot and the cool spot. It's just kind of that perfect size. Now, if you want to go bigger, by all means, go bigger. But don't go big right away because you will freak out your babies. Like, start, like, kind of bump them up accordingly. But those are actually the main 3 things that I find as the difficulties or the challenges with selling and marketing carpets is the attitude, because everybody thinks they're mean and evil. You guys have gotten to see some wonderful examples of ones that aren't mean and evil. Like I said, I mean, yeah, I do have a couple babies that are jerks, but they're still babies. I don't, like, the adults mellow out fairly well. I mean, you got to see, you know, I showed you several. I would pull that guy out, but I don't pull the adults out at nighttime. The lights have been off in here for several hours. He is in hunt mode / breed mode. I contemplated it, but reading the body signals, it wasn't a good time. I would pull, you can't see her. I would pull, you can kind of see her right there. I would pull Lagatha out right here, but she's in shed. She would not look absolutely great on camera right now. Plus, she seemed like she was right now she's like in this, like, she's just feeding frenzy, basically. Just getting, you know, she was trying to get that food stock up, those fat stores for breeding, and, you know, that duration of that time that she's not going to be eating. So I'm not going to pull her out either. She is absolutely a sweetheart and a baby. Hercules, he's not bad. I haven't worked with him a whole lot, but he normally isn't. He's normally not bad. He's pretty chill. Now Xander, he's a jerk in the enclosure. You get him out, he's fine though. See, that's the thing. Like, they've all got their quirks, but for the most part, folks, after they hit that, like, year and a half mark, year and a half, if they were feisty before, normally a light switch gets flipped, and they just kind of don't care about you because they become, you know, secure about themselves. The insecurity goes out the window. They realize you're not going to do anything to them. But anyway, the attitude's one of the big drawbacks or one of the big challenges that you're going to have with selling and marketing carpets. The ontogenetic color change is going to be a hurdle for you to get over, basically. For people that are just starting to get into carpets because they don't understand that color change takes place a lot of times. Like what I do for displays, like what I do a lot of times at shows, just to show people what they look like as adults or even as yearlings, 1.5-year-olds, is I take examples. Now, I haven't brought any adults to the shows just because that's all the adults I've got. I've got 3 adults at the moment, and I just don't want to stress them out because I need them to be ready to rock and roll with breeding season. So I take the year and a half old that you got. So instead of taking the adults, I take the yearling, the 1.5 year old carpets that you guys got to see earlier. I take them to the shows. They've got their adult colors. People get to see them, and like, they drop jaws. People are like, no, there's no way that brown, black, gray thing turns into that black and yellow. Like, they're mind boggled. It's nice to have those examples to show people what they become because people are very visual. It's a hard thing to believe that color change is that drastic, but that ontogenetic color change will be a hurdle for you folks. And last but not least, like I said, also the last hurdle, I feel anyway, is the space requirements that they require as adults. You know, people they don't realize how much space that little snake's gonna end up taking up. And carpets are one animal that you definitely, like, you can't get away with doing a whole lot with less. They do need a lot of space. They like to, stretch out. They like to be perched. They like to be out and about. They are a visual out and about snake. I think they're probably one of the best display animals there is because they are almost always out. If they're not out, they're in shed, or there's normally a reason that they're not out. Right now, like I said, Lagatha's not out because she is in shed. Celeste is up there with Hercules, but she's in the hide. He's up in the perch. I don't know why they're not together. Anyway, well, hopefully they get things figured out and we get some babies out. But the space thing is going to be that next hurdle because not everybody wants to realize or expects that little snake's going to require that much space. And they do, and they will make use of it. So that's going to be it for this week's video, folks. I hope you found it all very helpful. like I said, I thought, you know, perfect time of year to be dropping this because people are starting to breed carpets, and it's not some things that maybe if it's your first time breeding carpets, you might want to listen to, take into consideration. If you're out there going to be buying carpets, maybe that's another thing you need to take into consideration is, you know, the attitude goes away, the color change happens, things to keep in mind when you're purchasing these animals as well. So hopefully this video did help. Greatly appreciate all the love and support of all the channel members. Make sure you guys go ahead, check out the channel membership in the description down below. Check out the channel sponsors as well. Greatly appreciate all their love and support. And don't forget, folks, Carpet 15. Use the code for shedtesting.com. Get that 15% off your shed test order. And use Warful 60 for Husbandry Pro. Husbandry Pro, get that free 60-day trial of Husbandry Pro with Warful 60. Don't forget, use it. I love it. It helps me. It helps keep me organized. Like, I would probably be lost without Husbandry Pro at this point. And also, thank you again to all the channel sponsors. I greatly appreciate all your love and support. That's gonna be it, folks. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Drop me a comment down below. Was this video helpful? Did you find anything interesting? Is there something you didn't think about? Is there challenges that you think there are with marketing, selling baby carpets, or carpets in general that I had not thought of? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm curious to see what you have to say. And that's going to be it, folks. Greatly appreciate all the love and support. And I will catch you next time. Later.